we have this tweet from Rand Paul. It's a meme made by Being Libertarian. And ladies and gentlemen, it is one of the best memes I've ever seen. It says, Netflix presents Hillary. And it's a picture of Nikki Haley. And it is masterfully done. Rand Paul, of course, released an anti-endorsement with nevernikki.net, where he's basically given his message. So far, there's no heavy endorsement, but he's just saying, at least not Nikki Haley. I think this meme perfectly encapsulates wokeness, Netflix, the Democrats, and why Nikki Haley is Nikki Hillary. They nailed it.
But amazing job.
Question, though, do you think that Rand Paul's negative endorsement is going to make more or less people vote for Nikki Haley? Because they say even bad press is good press.
I think the most powerful tool we have in the culture war, and even in politics, is mockery.
Yeah.
And so if you come out, I'll tell you this, you go to the average person, and you say, Nikki Haley lied about what Russia's intentions are in Eastern Europe to expand foreign war and get us to spend money. And I'm telling you, if she's elected, we're going to see war in the Middle East. They're going to go, look, if you go up to the average person and go, yo, look at this, Nikki Haley, Hillary, they're going to start laughing their asses off. That mockery reaches the average person because it's the lowest common denominator.
It reaches some of them. Because some other people will be like, oh, what do you show me that crap for? Like, and just be like turned off by it and be like, don't make fun of, don't be cruel, don't bring cruelty.
Sure, some people. But the point is, making a coherent political argument about Nikki Haley's awful foreign policy and who she's aligned with and where she gets her donations from is so over the top esoteric. The average person says, look, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. But if you show a meme that makes fun of Netflix wokeness and how they do these diversity castings, it makes people laugh. And the idea
why is she white though? Shouldn't she be black if this is a real
Well, that's the
right?
point. She's the minority version of Hillary Clinton.
But if it was a real Netflix special, Nikki Haley and Hillary wouldn't even be on there, right? It'd be some black woman. Because I was told that the only way you get a Netflix special is if you're
minority.
A black woman.
But that's the point. Nikki Haley is a minority.
Maybe I'm just black pilled,
Black
but
or gay.
I feel like I shouldn't have to explain to the American people why they shouldn't support Nikki Haley at this point. Like, if you've been alive for the past 20 years and you've seen what the neocons have done and the neo-progressives or the neoliberals or whatever you want to classify the Clintons as, or Obama for that matter, and you still haven't figured out that like everything they've told you has been a lie and it has just destroyed the world, destroyed your financial well-being. I still have to explain to you that Nikki Haley is not a good option for president. I can't even believe this chick's running.
Yeah, of course,
it's unbelievable.
Bro, of course you have to explain it. The average person doesn't know anything about foreign policy or politics. And Nikki Haley goes on stage, and the average person, I'm not talking about people who are into politics, you could be left or right. The average person who decides for some reason to watch is going to see Nikki Haley go, Vladimir Putin is going to go after Poland and our allies. You know, she does that thing where she doesn't open her mouth when she talks. It's really weird. But she's going to be like, he's going to invade. He's like Hitler. And they go, I don't know who this lady is or anything about Russia, but that sounds scary. Then Donald Trump will say something in his show. He'll be like, it's not correct. Vladimir Putin he wants Crimea. And they're going to say, who do I believe? The reason why memes are so effective is that regular person sees Donald Trump memes where he's riding a tank or a velociraptor with a machine gun, and they laugh. That mockery of Trump, and it is, but it's positive. It's like, look how strong and tough he is. Nikki Haley is insulted as a bad Hillary Clinton who everyone hates. Then, when you're sitting with your friends and you turn on the debate or whatever it is you're watching, and she says those lies about Vladimir Putin, that person goes, she's Hillary Clinton, dude. Hillary Clinton's stupid.
Yeah, I think that memes are ammunition in the arsenal of persuasion, and they're not to be used on every target. Like
just the illiterate.
They work against certain people that they'll be like, ha, yeah. But other times you've got to explain her role on the board of Boeing and that she's part of a war machine.
Yeah. And you're correct, but everybody hates Hillary Clinton. She was one of the most despised candidates we've ever seen, and that's one of the reasons she lost in 2016. So when you show a picture of Nikki Haley and call her Hillary, the people who don't know anything about it instantly understand what that means.
I would say, though, that we're living in different times. I do think that mimetic warfare is certainly, influential.
I love it.
But the reality is that this isn't about, oh, well, I like Nikki Haley, I'm going to vote for Nikki Haley. This is about one thing and one thing only, okay? And that is getting Donald Trump. And that's why you have David Plouffe, who is Barack Hussein Obama's former campaign manager, urging Democrats to show up on caucus day in Iowa to change their registration to Republican to vote for Nikki Haley. It's not that people actually like Nikki Haley. I'm sure that Democrats and Republicans both recognize the fact that she's a warmonger and a neocon who, has a board position with Boeing and has really shady ties to defense contractors that made her a multimillionaire. But
and she's
this is about getting Donald Trump. And so they are still going to vote. I think that Donald Trump's going to overwhelmingly win the Iowa caucus, but that's why you're seeing all of Hillary Clinton's donors, people like Reid Hoffman, okay, who's the second largest Democrat Party mega donor after George Soros, line up to support Nikki Haley. They don't actually care about Nikki Haley. It's not like they really care about her policies. They just want to get Trump, whoever that is. They don't care. I think they're even pushing for a contingent election. That's why RFK's PAC just invested $15 million in key swing states, because by their own admission, they said that their goal is to get 15 electoral votes so that neither Joe Biden nor Donald Trump get 270. And then what happens per the Constitution with a contingent election is Congress then gets to decide who our president is.
House delegations.
Yes.
So, but Republicans outnumber that.
But we currently have a 1-seat majority, because with all these Republicans retiring, we could have Speaker Hakeem Jeffries by March if one of these geriatrics in Congress has a stroke, gets cancer, has a heart attack, dies, gets in a car accident, or resigns because they have some kind of family emergency. We already know that there's a ton of rhinos in Congress who hate Trump, and they would love to screw Donald Trump in an election year by saying, you know what, we're just going to retire early, and there you go, Speaker Jeffries. That's why Kevin McCarthy retired early, and that's why they ousted George Santos.
This is a good point, though, because one play to consider, though I don't know how likely it would be, is if a few of the rhinos in Congress resign, giving Democrats the slim majority by having maybe a seat.
Gives them the delegations.
And not even the delegations, but once they have Congress, they immediately vote to charge Trump with insurrection, or they simply just pass a resolution saying Trump is an insurrectionist.
And I truly believe that's their strategy. I think that the rhinos are doing that, and I wouldn't be surprised if by March, and people can record this, and there's going to be a recording. We'll see if I'm right. I think by the end of March, we're going to see another Republican resign, and the Democrats are going to take back control of the House.
Well, if that happens, I mean, I'm just curious. You're one of Trump's biggest supporters.
I'm his biggest supporter.
Okay, his biggest supporter. I apologize.
Number one fan.
if he is waylaid, if he's robbed, if he's thrown off of enough state ballots that he's, whatever reason, it's illegitimate and he's kept out of office, how is the MAGA base going to react to that?
Well, there's going to be a revolution in this country. We are voting for President Trump regardless of whether or not his name's on the ballot. They're not going to steal our elections from us. And this is why everybody should be appalled by these Soros-funded secretaries of states like Jenna Griswold in Colorado or Shayna Bellows in Maine, who are, removing President Trump's name unconstitutionally from the ballot. And that's my point about the contingent election, right? If they are successful, like let's say the Supreme Court rules against President Trump, right? He won't get the electoral votes in those states, and it will set a precedent and allow for other blue states or states with rhino or Democrat secretaries of state to remove him from the ballot under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. And so you see the possibility become more of reality, right? Of neither candidate getting 270, especially with the way that RFK Jr. is being so heavily funded as an independent.
I think Vivek was saying one of the plays is it's not about the Democratic Party. We've talked about, you had the JP Morgan guy say Joe Biden's going to have a medical issue in March. He's going to drop out. And then we speculate it was going to be Newsom, is it going to be Michelle Obama, when it's been Nikki Haley the whole time. Vivek's saying they're not going that route. They're going from within the party. They're propping up Nikki Haley, who is very obviously, like you put her next to Hillary Clinton and take the same talking points. Same thing, Russia, all this foreign policy garbage
nonsense. She even
nonsense.
keeps hot sauce in her purse.
Right. See, there you go. And but the point is, when they're taking Trump off the ballot, people say, who cares if Trump's off the ballot in Colorado? Colorado's a blue state. Yes, but it's the primary ballot. Now, he's back on, of course. But if California does it, Trump needs to win the California GOP primary. It's not about the general election. They want to create a situation in which Nikki Haley somehow wins the nomination to give them some kind of legitimacy against Trump.
Yeah.
I think Trump will run as an independent regardless, but then they split the vote, and it's like you said, contingent election.
Interesting. I'm very nervous because even if, say by some miracle, Trump beats all the charges and he's actually on the ballots and he wins the election and he gets into power, and the deep state doesn't take him out. That's a lot of ifs. All right, but he gets through all those ifs, and he finally gets in there. I still think we're looking at the potential for a revolution in this country, just because I think that the media and the deep state will activate the left in this country in a way that's extraordinarily dangerous.
Maybe
too.
we need one, honestly. I mean, maybe we need one.
No, I don't want to live through that. No,
the
please.
country is a
No,
revolution.
I mean, I'm just saying that our country, our country was born in a revolution.
True.
And so maybe in order to take our country back, we're going to need a revolution. I'm not calling for a civil war. I'm not inciting violence, but I am saying that, people get so scared with the words, revolution. And, they like to say that Trump supporters are insurrectionists. Weren't our founding fathers, technically speaking, insurrectionists?
If
Weren't
they lost.
What?
If they lost.
Yeah, they were for sure terrorists. They were
So,
considered.
But hold on. Revolution doesn't always mean violence.
Exactly. That's
But
my point. I think.
But historically, it typically is related to it because the people in power won't.
I think of it a lot as a revolution of the mind. I've been thinking of it since. But that's what Mao called the Cultural Revolution in China, too. They were like, it's a revolution of the mind. And so if we're going to do that, which we kind of are with shows like this, we've got to be really intricate about how we do it. And
A revolution of truth. A revolution of truth.
But
right?
let's clarify, because I like the founding fathers' vision for this country. I like the Constitution. I think it's brilliant. I really do think people should study the foundation, read the Constitution, read how the branches of government are meant to operate, read the founding fathers' quotes and how they were coming up with this system. They were like, should we have a monarchy? No, that's crazy because of this problem. Should we have a direct democracy? No, because of this problem. What about a council of elders? No, Hey, what about all three of them? And they all kind of argue with each other at once. It's like, maybe that's the best way to do it. I don't think it's a revolution we want. I think it's a reignition. I think it's a reaffirmation, or more importantly, a cleansing or accountability. For too long, people in this country have grown complacent, sitting by and letting corrupt people exploit the system. Congress is plagued with corruption. We can see it in their stock trading deals. All we need to do is, we don't want a revolution in the classical sense of changing this country. No, we want to restore it, which means
a restoration.
Restoration is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.